Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Now before we begin, as always, I have to say a huge thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these stunning high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below, cause without him, this series quite literally wouldn't be possible. Now, if you are looking to pre-order Ant-Man or the Wasp, or both of them, I have popped the link to toyswonderland.com in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button so you're notified as soon as a brand new review or figure preview video goes live on the channel. Now, I was expecting these two, absolutely, a lot of people were, but I was also expecting the film to come out first. You know, usually we see the movie, then a couple of weeks later Hot Toys puts up the figures for pre-order, but no, they clearly have more in store for the film. Maybe a Cassie, maybe a Kang, maybe a MODOK. Well, we'll have to wait and see, but for now, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Now, they did tease a Cassie in the promo pics for these two figures, but we will have to wait and see. Hot Toys have been known to do teasers, but unfortunately, half the time they deliver the goods, and the other half the time we have a Shazam, or a Hawkeye from the Hawkeye series, or a bunch more that they've literally just left in the figure graveyard. Fingers crossed they do give us more figures from the lineup, but if they don't, you can bet that another company absolutely will pick up the slack. Now, we will be previewing both Wasp and Ant-Man in the same preview video, so sit down, relax, you might be here for a minute. Cause let's be honest, you're not going to get one without the other anyway. If you're getting Ant-Man, you're getting Wasp, and probably vice versa. Cause Ant-Man and the Wasp, literally the title of the second movie. Nevertheless, Ant-Man does come with a slimmed down array of accessories. We don't get any ants, maybe there's less focus on ants in Ant-Man Quantumania, but no ants. We do get a full array of hands, the usual suspects, gripping hands, splayed out finger hands, some closed fists, and they're detailed well. They look like gloves with armor paneling on the outside. Then we get the retracted helmet, which simply plugs into his backpack. It's a pretty neat effect and absolutely works. I loved it before, and I love it here too. This, though, I don't know. I personally really like this head sculpt. I see Paul Rudd, but I've already seen the comments. People say, no, that's Ben Affleck, but is it though? I mean, his face is a lot longer than Ben Affleck. His forehead is completely different. His jaw is narrower. His eyes sag down at the sides. To me, that's Paul Rudd. And this time, moving eyes. You gotta love moving eyes. But they did already say that this head sculpt is a work in progress, meaning there will be updates, there will be changes, but I don't know if that's to do with the expression or just to do with the paint applications and some tweaks here and there. We will have to wait and see. If they don't change anything though, to me, that's Paul Rudd through and through. Yes, it's very serious, but based on the trailers for Quantumania, it seems like a more serious film anyway. So I think this expression will absolutely work. Just my opinion though, you don't have to agree with me, please don't shoot the messenger. Let me know what you think of this head sculpt down below. Now interestingly enough, he no longer comes with the growing and shrinking discs that we had with Civil War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm pretty sure the first version as well. So I guess in this movie, he doesn't need them. Now the display base is hexagonal, says Ant-Man, and up top, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Now the outfit kind of feels like a blend of all of the Ant-Man suits merged into one. And that is right up my alley. There were cool things about Civil War, but there were also weird things. It was very sleek and very refined. Maybe overly so. Whereas this one brings back a lot of texture. There are also multiple different panels, and the color is so much more vibrant. It almost looks like they've taken the Endgame suit and kind of given it that sleekness that the Civil War one had, but the color scheme of the original. I know, I'm repeating myself, but like I just said, they merged all three suits into one, and that absolutely does the trick. There are silver panel lines, there are gray sections, there are metallic red sections, but all of those sections, oh yes, they're rubbery fabric, which means when it comes to posing, potentially there will be some creasing and damage over time. For me, with all of my previous Ant-Man figures, including my original one, no issues so far. No wrinkling, no creasing, no damage. But I go pretty light on the posing. I like to protect my figures for the long haul, so I don't go too crazy. But if you do, definitely something to be aware of. Also, look at that, a split cut boot design. Thank you, Hot Toys. Maximum range of motion for the ankles. Plus, when you have him standing on the base in an A stance, you can tilt the ankles in and have his feet completely flush on the base. Definitely my preferred option. Around the back, there looks to be a zipper, so don't know if that's interesting to anyone, but you can absolutely see it. And for the mini backpack, that's where you plug in the retracted helmet. We have seen that gimmick before, it makes sense, it slots in up the top and looks like his helmet has retracted back like it does in all of the Ant-Man films constantly. Not sure why they do that in the Marvel films, I guess it's to give the actors more face time, but as soon as the character pops up, the helmet goes back and oh look, it's Paul Rudd. Just a pet peeve of mine, I'd prefer if they kept the helmet on. I'll quit complaining, the figure's torso is jam-packed with detail. I'm not sure what the circular disc is on his chest, maybe it ties into the film, we will have to wait and see. I love the metallic red, and I dig the patterns and texture. It's not like there's just one texture repeating itself over and over and over again. It's multiple different textures of multiple different sizes. So when it all mixes together, I haven't used this in a while, but it is a feast for the eyes. The shoulder pads do look to be pretty much the same design as Endgame, meaning they're separate and they pop on with Velcro. So if you do want to get more dynamic with the posing and have the arm up in a crazy position like this one, thank you Hot Toys for the segue, you can move the arm up, then pop the shoulder pad back on with the Velcro and it should, fingers crossed, give you a little bit more flexibility. Then again, like I discussed a second ago, the outfit is rubbery fabric, so you do have to exercise a little bit more caution. Now the helmet does seem like, once again, a blend of all three suits. And yes, once again, you can see his eyes fully sculpted and painted underneath the translucent red lenses. And the helmet does light up as well, specifically for the eye area. Now this time there is a touch more red on the mandibles or cheeks, just behind the Ant-Man's circular snoot, and I like having more red. A pop of colour, always a good thing. They've also carried over that kind of carbon fibre mesh panel on the top, which normally is removable for the light up, and here I can see some seams, so probably the same thing with this new one. Overall, where does this suit rank for me? Not having seen the film yet, but we will soon. So far, so good. I love the vibrant colors. I love the mix of different designs for the Ant-Man suits. So far, I reckon this could potentially be the second best Ant-Man suit ever. I still give the win to the original because it had so much charm. It was that kind of vintage blend of an old school retro suit with some modern vibes as well. Now with Ant-Man you do get the miniature Wasp, and with Wasp you get the miniature Ant-Man. So when you get the two, you can combine these two together with an upcoming Cassie. Fingers crossed it won't take them too long to reveal her, but they can snap together to make literally the tiniest diorama that Hot Toys have ever made. Ant-Man is running on a rock, and even though he's miniature, the paint applications, they're really good. Wasp is flying, and I dig the translucent effect for the gust of wind that she's floating on. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be, but totally works for me. Those mini Ant-Man pieces, they bring a lot of charm. They're not really the reason you would buy these figures, but they're a nice added-in little bonus. Because the hallmark of Ant-Man and the Wasp is they shrink down. You know, they can be ad-sized. I am so sorry. Now, for the Wasp, she does come with an array of hands, similar to the ones that we got with the Ant-Man and the Wasp versions. She also comes with a swappable backpack and a retracted helmet, just like Ant-Man. She also comes with the wings, but they're already on her, so when we pan up, you'll see exactly what they look like. Spoiler alert, they're just like the previous version, which is totally fine with me. I was fine with the engineering with that version, so copying that for this new one, absolutely a tick. This time, the Evangeline Lilly head sculpt, oh my word. The Ant-Man and the Wasp one was already incredible, but somehow, I think they topped it. I see the likeness from every angle. The skin texture, at least on the prototype, is insanely good. The hair is a lot shorter this time, so being sculpted makes even more sense. And the icing on the cake, moving eyes. I mean, Hot Toys, y'all are making me so happy. Making moving eyes a mainstay for pretty much all figures going forward. Oh, I am so freaking in. Fingers crossed they do, but this is absolutely a good sign. Giving it to a character like Wasp and even Ant-Man, who's kind of more of a tertiary character in the MCU, it's a huge vote of confidence for more moving eyes going forward. It can absolutely be a differentiator, because if InArt's doing it and Hot Toys can do it, why the heck not get it done? Does that mean this head sculpt will potentially be on a magnet to pop it on? Well, you can see a little bit of a skin tone neck in that picture, so maybe, but also maybe not. Her display base, similar to Ant-Man, hexagonal, but this time it's yellow instead of red. Now, she does have a flight pole, because she can fly thanks to the wings, so this makes sense. And once again, a split-cut boot design for, you guessed it, maximum range of motion. There are multiple textures here, just like the Ant-Man suit, but the colors on this suit, I mean, you can only see a small taste of it right now, but oh man, it is so much more vibrant than the Ant-Man and the Wasp version. That one had a similar design, but oh, it had nothing on the color scheme that this one has. Hold on, it's coming. Now, she does have a mix of this stretchy spandex on her thighs. Absolutely love that. Because for Wasp, number one, it's not Nicer. It doesn't stand out being the wrong material and being a completely different tone and texture and contrast to the screen-printed sections like that panel on her thigh, and the rubbery fabric sections for the rest of the suit as well. It blends in, no problem whatsoever. Plus, you can see there is some creasing around her hip area, but spandex, it's made for that. It can stretch, it can conform, it can deform, and hopefully, when you do remove the pose, there shouldn't be a huge dent and there shouldn't be much damage. That, to me, even though normally that would be a no-go for creasing, for Wasp, that kind of looks pretty safe. So I would absolutely be willing to copy this pose in my collection. Now that we're moving up the torso, oh, you can see those colors are poppin'. That yellow with the detail on the ab section, that pattern, I mean, come on, that's classic comic book Wasp through and through. Maybe more of a modern flair. Either way, it works so freaking well here. I don't know about y'all, but this color scheme, this mix of textures, this outfit for Wasp in the MCU, so far, out of the two we've seen, well, technically three, because there was that one, I'm pretty sure, in the end credits scene of one of the other Ant-Man films, but nevertheless, this, to me, is my favorite Wasp suit out of the bunch. Do weigh in down below. Is this your favorite? Do you prefer the darker, more gold color scheme of the Ant-Man and the Wasp version? Please, weigh in. Now, she does have that circular disc on her upper torso. Still not sure what that's for, but maybe it's for shrinking and growing out of the quantum realm. Maybe you pop one of those little growy, shrinky discs that they had in the previous films on the inside, rotate the thing, give it a whack, and boom, you're out of the quantum realm. Not all that plausible, I know, but we will have to wait and see what it's for in the movie. Maybe it's for nothing. Maybe it's literally just a costume design element they pop the circle on, because, you know, it looks different from the previous suit. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it actually has a function. Now, she does have her Wasp wings in, and they do plug in, it seems, in the same way as the Ant-Man and the Wasp version. No problem there. Fine with the engineering the first time. Fine if they repeated it this time as well. They do have the little Wasp braces, which are separate floating pieces, and the pop of red on an otherwise very blue and yellow suit. Totally welcomed. Now, back to the wings again, translucent plastic with a nice stripe of yellow up the top. They do this time, though, have a touch less detail. Usually there's more detail with the new version, but not this time. There's no hexagonal grid pattern, there's no mix of matte, frosted clear plastic and normal clear plastic. They're all clear plastic with the wing detail sculpted on top. Now, I like that. They genuinely look like real bug wings. There's some panel lines sculpted in and that nice yellow flare, but other than that, They don't need any more detail than that, for me at least. If they don't work for you, I absolutely understand. Now, maybe, just maybe, seeing as the mechanism and the attachment method does look the same as the previous version, you could potentially take the wings from the Ant-Man and the Wasp one and pop them on here. We will have to wait and see. I will try it out when we get this new one. Speaking of the new one, that helmet design is stunning. Her lenses are a lot bigger than Ant-Man's, so you can see a lot more of that eye plate / head sculpt underneath the translucent plastic. And that still looks like Evangeline Lilly. Even though there's such a small area of her face visible, still her 100%. The eyes look good, they are fully painted, so underneath the plastic, if you did somehow remove it, they should be very well detailed, just like the actual head sculpt. And just like Ant-Man, oh yes, that visor is a light up as well. The overall shape and design is similar to the Ant-Man 2 / Endgame version, but this time there's a lot more yellow. So instead of being pretty much all silver, that yellow on the cheeks and on the ear fins, it ties the look together beautifully. Now, for some reason here in this pose from this angle, her helmet does look a little big, but totally going to be a non-issue. Ryan assured me in person it looks fantastic and very eye-catching. I mean, those wings are big, but they're nowhere near as big as Golden Armor Wonder Woman and Falcon Sam Wilson, so I can absolutely see a world where most people have Wasp with the wings on in their collection. I can tell you that 100% for sure I will. Now, if you are looking to pre-order Ant-Man and the Wasp from Ant-Man Quantumania, they are available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They do have installment plans and a reward system. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video.